Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Robin here, and this is my channel, Oracle Rising. So this is my channel where I talk about maybe you're exiting the matrix or you're going through an ascension path and all that good stuff. So thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the actual physical symptoms of an ascension, a spiritual awakening, being on your ascension path, because it does affect you, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So sometimes people think that they have this really lingering flu, or they just don't know what's going on with their body anymore. And that could be part of your ascension path. But you know what? I'm not a medical professional. I just want to let you guys know that. So, but there are definitely some things that go on with your body when you're ascending, when you're exiting the matrix, and like what people call waking up, right? So let's have a look at them. So the first one I have here, and there's more than what I've written down, so feel free to go ahead and research all this stuff after the video, guys. So a changing sleep pattern. Recently, like for example, I just started going to bed at 8 o'clock at night and waking up at 4 in the morning. It's a pretty sudden change for me. And that's actually what prompted me, because I'm going through, I have this long lasting flu and stuff like that. But part of what I've been experiencing lately is this weird sleeping pattern, and I can't help myself from falling asleep, usually between 8 and 9. And then this morning, for example, I woke up at 4:20. So I woke up and here I am. And that's just not like me. I mean, it's not really far off. I was going to bed at 10 and waking up at 6, but I mean, it just feels really weird and random, and it just started happening. So I was like, okay, I'll just roll with it because I don't seem to have a choice. I'm like doing the rubber neck, and can't stay awake anymore. But just notice any changes in your sleeping pattern, and maybe it's like waking up in the middle of the night, or not being able to fall asleep, or waking up too early. Just an aside, if you keep on waking up at the same time every night, you maybe want to check out angel numbers, or why you're waking up. You can Google all of this stuff, you guys. So the next one I have is being tested by patterns. So sometimes we go through these karmic lessons and you feel like you've accomplished what, and learned what you've had to learn. Like maybe, for instance, you were kind of dating the same kind of person over and over again, but they were in a different body, and you had to understand why you kept on putting yourself through that, and then finally realizing, okay, well, this is what I need to develop in myself, so that I'm no longer attracting that kind of person. And again, I'm using that as an example for myself, because I did that for many years, attracted sort of the same kind of person, until I realized, wait, it's not them, it's me. So maybe you're being tested again by the universe for this same repeated pattern that you thought you had resolved your karmic lesson, and it's coming back again, and you're like, hello, I thought I was done with this. So that could just be a test of your greater, I want to say, character or self-awareness, as part of your spiritual awakening. And you should be a lot stronger to deal with it this time around, and go, no, I'm not even, this isn't even going to affect me on my level, so you can just go away. I'm pretty much done with that. I'm a stronger version of myself. But you'll notice, this seems really familiar, but I'm not even gonna look down on that and give it any of my time. So you'll notice that you'll be able to handle that retest a lot stronger this time around. So any changes in vision, you guys, and I find this one really interesting. You could be seeing things sort of out of the corner of your eye, or maybe having orbs and stuff like that, and maybe just seeing shifts in light and nothing's really happening. That could be part of your spiritual awakening. And this is something I'd really like you guys to check out. If you've been having any weird vision, blurred vision, double vision, and of course go see a doctor, you guys, if it's not anything to do with an ascension path, right? Because I'm not a doctor. But sometimes you see things because it's spirits coming through to you, and they'll sort of dazzle you with a glittering of light or something like that, or appear in a light orb. And definitely if you guys have companion animals, they'll be aware of it too. So that's a really good indicator what is really going on. I had a cat, well, I've had cats for many years, and my most recent cat, he just passed away a couple years ago, but the cats always know when the spirits are around you. So that's really an interesting one, you guys. Changes in hearing, that can be another one. Like sometimes you'll have that ringing in your ears, and people will say that that's the sign of angels being near you, but also don't get things like real medical issues confused with ascension items, you guys. So I just really want to clarify that as we go through these points, because I don't want anybody to think, just blow off an illness because, well, you know, Robin on Oracle Rising said, well, this is part of my ascension path. But sometimes, like, and you'll just hear things, and sometimes you can hear your voice, your name being called. So if you're having any issues with hearing, you might want to check out hearing as it relates to spiritual awakening or an ascension path, or also see a doctor if all else fails. So this one I find highs and lows in energy. This is a huge one. It's like you'll wake up like super tired, and like an hour later you're like, yes, I'm ready to go, and then you feel super drained, and it's kind of like a roller coaster of energetic flow in your body. And this happens because, you know, your electrical aura, it's changing as you're ascending to different levels. And once again, I really encourage everybody to do your own research, and because everybody's journey is a little bit different. So go ahead and check that out. But if that sounds familiar, like and you're drained for no reason, you know, you got all your sleep, you're eating properly, you're doing all the right things, but you still feel drained. Maybe you feel like you have a little bit of a flu. That could definitely be part of an ascension path or a spiritual awakening, guys. Heat surges, this is another one. You know, you could be really infused with warm temperature. Again, this is another sign of angels being close to you guys, or it could just be your energetic body adjusting to where you are on your spiritual path, because, you know, it's not just your spirit that's ascending, it's also your mind and your body, right? So everything does have to catch up, and you're going to notice these physical signs as you ascend. So I think this is a really good list, but it's not inclusive. This one I think is really cool. It doesn't feel cool, but having aches and pains, you know, and again, it's your body adjusting. If you can kind of visualize like a snake sort of losing its skin as it evolves into its new version of itself, that kind of is what happens to the human body, you know. So the aches and pains, they could come out of nowhere. Like yesterday, and I do a lot of walking and yoga and Pilates and stuff like that. Like I really had, my hips were really sore, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I just went to bed at 8 o'clock, and I feel better this morning, but just some sort of weird aches and pains coming and then going right away. Like they're not hanging around or anything, but just noticing things like that, and check these things out right away, you guys, because it really matters. And this one is really interesting too, and I find this one happening, like time seems like it's going by a little bit faster. It's like an acceleration of time. You know, things just like, how did it get to be 4 o'clock in the afternoon already? Or the days going by, or like a whole year goes by, and it just feels like, you know, wasn't it just January 1st, and all of a sudden here we are at a new year? So there's all kinds of ascension symptoms, you guys. So and most of it kind of represents in sort of flu-like symptoms, because you are evolving, you guys. And evolving isn't, you know, it's not necessarily just a blissful row down the stream, you know. Sometimes it's going to be painful and annoying and all this other stuff. So really check that out, guys. And once again, go see a doctor if you're really sick. So I just want to throw that out there. Definitely let me know what symptoms you guys are experiencing, and I hope they subside for you guys soon as you walk your journey of ascension. So thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to wrap up the video, and I'll see you another time.